Welcome everyone to another episode of Creepy Campfires. The story was submitted by Anonymous, and it goes something like this. The area is about 3 miles east of Lake Norrell and bound on the west by Caney Creek. Panther Creek heads about 2 miles southeast, and the North Fork of the Saline River lies 2 miles to the southwest. I'm a 25-year-old male who lived in the area from about age 7 to 18. I spent a lot of time in the woods and along the creek hunting and fishing. I often camped along, except for my dog. At the time, I was 11 or 12 years old, and I had gotten off the school bus and was walking toward my home, which was on a dead-end road. As I neared the intersection of the trail that led into the pine thicket, which contained a large briar patch about 30 yards off the road, I saw a pine tree shaking vigorously. I was surprised to see the tree moving, so I walked down the trail toward it to see what all the commotion was about. As I got within about 15 feet of the tree, I could see it was about 30 foot tall and about 6 inches in diameter. Through the briar thicket, I could see something standing behind the tree. I could hear a low grunting, moaning sound. I slowly moved sideways around the thicket until I could see the tree more clearly. I then saw that there was a large, hair-covered animal was standing on 2 feet and rubbing its back against the tree. Because the thicket blocked part of my view of the animal, I could only see the black part of its left shoulder and a part of its back on one side. The animal was squirming and rubbing the tree along its spine. It was grunting contently. The animal was apparently unaware of my presence. Although I spent a lot of time in the woods, I could not understand what I was seeing. Although I had never seen a bear, I decided that's what it was, and that's what I was watching. I watched for about 15 seconds and started backing out of the pine thicket to the road, and then I ran home telling my family about what I'd seen. Well, they didn't believe me. I estimated the height of the creature to be about 7 to 8 foot tall. The animal had long hair that was brown and streaked with lighter colors. The hair was somewhat matted and dirty looking. I saw neither the face nor the hands, and only a small part of the hair on the left side of the animal's head. I was about 9 years old when I first heard the sounds of what appeared to be a woman screaming in great distress in the woods near my home. It was daylight, and I was alone outside. The sounds were so loud and pitiful that it distressed me greatly, to the point I began to cry, and began to run toward the sounds in the woods. When the sound stopped, I continued to cry, but began to shout for the woman to shout back so I would know where she was, so I could help her. I got no immediate response, so I continued slowly walking and looking, fully expecting to see an injured woman. After a few yards, I stopped to listen. I then heard the same sound coming from 2 different directions and off at a great distance. I heard the sounds repeat. I was confused about what was going on, and after a while I slowly walked back to the yard. When I mentioned the sounds to adults, they said I'd heard a panther, and there had always been some in that area because the nearby creek was named after them. I never believed them because the sounds were human-like. Over the next few years I heard the sounds 3 or 4 more times, but they were always at night. It always distressed me greatly to hear those sounds because I never knew the origin of those sounds and where they were coming from. 6 years ago I was camping one night in the woods above the upper end of Lake Norrell when during the middle of the night I heard loud animal sounds that I could not identify. A few minutes later I heard the sounds of large rocks being banged together on the hills above the lake. At no time during my time in the woods did I ever feel threatened, but that strange sound I heard when I was in the woods was so common that it seemed normal. As the sounds got louder and closer, I decided it was time to go. This wasn't the sound that I heard as a child. This was something different. I never seen the creature, but the feeling of dread I felt, I don't think I wanted to.